Hello everyone, welcome to RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. This is chapter 35 and this is the last time you will see me sticking tiles to a wall. Hallelujah. Well, as I said in the intro, this will be the last video that you'll see me applying tile to my bathroom renovation project. The walls have actually gone fairly well. It's nice to be working on a vertical surface and not to be crouched over, and every day when I'd get up from working on the floor and in the shower pan, it would look like I had my elf shoes on, my toes were curled, and it's just uncomfortable. So working on the walls has been way better, but it's tiling and you know, I'm tired of it. Some interesting news. We were booked to have my family over here at the last week of May and was starting to feel a little under the gun as far as getting things operational in our bathroom. But things came up and that's all changed. So now I don't have that pressure or time consideration to be concerned about. So yes, I have to admit that takes some of the pressure off. So it's been good. We are looking ahead to the next phases of this now. I'll do some grouting in an upcoming video and finishing the vanity and installing that. I think I mentioned a couple of videos ago, or last video, that I got word from our countertop place. Our nice piece of granite is ready to go. So yeah, it's coming along nicely and I'm looking forward to getting back into the woodworking aspect of this renovation again. That's much better for me. So today in this video, I give you a little bit of a taste of how I applied tile, a little bit of a how-to section, but remember, this is the way I did it. I would not necessarily view this as an absolute on how to install tile, because there are professionals out there that I'm sure do videos and do it much better than I do. So, but this is what I did, and I think it's valuable because as a homeowner that will possibly attempt a project like this on your own in the future because of stubbornness and maybe lack of funds, both apply to me. I think there's merit in watching what I do. And I'll try to be very honest with you as what went right, what went wrong, and at the end of it all, we'll do a cost analysis as well. So hang in there. There's a few more of these videos left, but I am, to be honest with you, looking forward to moving on to doing something else. So anyway, watch and enjoy the content that I have created for you, and away we go. Well, welcome to the bathroom again. I thought I'd just show you how I put up a wall tile. I try to make this so if you've never tiled before, you have a little bit of an idea of what you're up against. One thing that I really liked, and I'm going to do this a little bit later as well, is go through the tools and things that I used that I found made this job a little easier. So we're going to do that eventually, but for now I'm just going to put my special gloves on. By the way, these are $1 gloves at Home Depot. They are awesome, and even if you've got a modified hand, you can cut the tips off and they work perfectly. So we're going to put this tile up. I had to cut a hole for the shower head. Now with porcelain tile, you pretty much need a good diamond hole saw to cut a decent hole. I went to our local lumber yard and they had one. I think it was red. Was it a Freud or was it Milwaukee? Forget which one. But it was, for a 1-inch hole saw, was $60, and I'm just not gonna do that for basically one hole. So what I did is I took my angle grinder with a tile cutting blade on it. I have a 4.5 inch angle grinder. And I flipped the tile over, hollowed out the back, and then hollowed out the front as much as I could without making a huge area. And then took a pointed hammer that I have in the shop and just tapped my way through it. And then I could gently break it, break the circle out. So it's not perfect, but it's okay. And besides, there's going to be an escutcheon that covers this anyway. So it's not that big a deal. Okay, so I'm going to get going here. I think I finally, and I'm going to be ducking in and out of frame here, sorry about that. I think I finally got my thin set woes figured out. Now I'm thinking maybe this thin set that I've just mixed and let set is maybe just a little bit loose, but it's going to tighten up on me as I go. I'm sure hoping you can see that. I'll raise it a little higher. That's about the consistency I'm going to start with today. I think that's a little looser than a lot of places recommend. But I found that when I did the floor, I used too much thin set. And what that does is, in my opinion, it creates problems for leveling. Now, luckily I had these clips here, which are worth their weight in gold. So the floor is wonderful. But there's too much thin set under it, in my opinion. It's going to hold, it's going to be wonderful, but it was a lot harder to install, I think, than it needed to be. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this, and this is a sloppy job, especially with things this way, and these large format tiles, these 2 foot by 2 foot tiles, require a fair amount of thin set. So I'm just going to start scooping it on. I think it really helps to have your first row on and let that dry before you start building up. It just helps support the rest of your tile. So that's what I did. I think it was last Saturday. Today's Wednesday, and yesterday I did nothing because I had my group in the shop and we built woodworking projects, which is a lot of fun. And Monday, I did the main back wall of the shower, and that went fairly well. And I think I'm just going to pass on some of the things that I learned. Yeah, this thin set is a little thin. Should have added a little bit more powder to it, but it's going to work and it's going to be fine. Okay, so we're getting this done. And yep, there it is. I just thought maybe I wasn't prepared here. Now I'm going to clean that off, and everybody calls for a 1/2 by 1/2 notch trowel for these large format tiles. So I'm going to drag that up. There we go. One thing that I haven't totally mastered yet is the ability to keep grout lines open. So just try to clear a little bit of the thin set away from the grout line. Okay. Now the mistake, in my opinion, that I was making is the tile. I hope you can see this. I bet you can't. Well, okay, we're going to do what we can here. I'm going to back butter the tile here. And like I say, these are hard to work with. They're big. Okay, maybe I'll have to show you this when I'm done, because I'm thinking you're probably not seeing this. Okay, oh, that was lovely. Okay, I'm going to hold this up so you can see this. Okay, I just started doing a light back butter. Like I said, I had way too much thin set on, and that makes it really hard to work with these tiles. And I have found that mixing the thin set a wee bit thinner. Now this is a little thinner than I'd like, but it's going to work. Once I set this tile on the wall, there's so much suction, I could barely pull it off if I wanted to. So I am not worried about these tile having problems later on. So okay, here we're going to slide this on. Okay, now I was putting in 16th inch spacers, but one of the things that I found, sorry I'm out of frame again, where did that one go? I found that, okay, there it is. I found that these tiles are not all exactly the same. And when you're trying to work with a 16th inch grout line, they need to all be the same. So, in order to keep things level and even, there are times when I've had to go to an 1/8 inch spacer between. And this is one of those occasions. So I'm just going to tuck my 1/8 inch spacer in. There, I like that. Now we're going to push it in, and it's all nice. Okay, now this one, what I typically did, I won't be able to do it with this pipe in here, but I'd grab the tile and I'd shift it back and forth, trying to push it into the thin set. And I like to keep the edges clean, because when I put the next tile up, I don't want to be fighting thin set from, okay, I've got to come out just a little bit. And that's okay, we'll thin set the corner, and that'll all be good. I'm just going to finish setting this here. This corner isn't quite. There we go. That's perfect. Okay, then, for this tile, I'm just going to tap it in. There we go. I would have to work extremely hard to get this tile back off. And I'm going to clean out the grout line as best I can, but I have a couple of tools for that. And I'm hoping I'm grouting later this week. So there you go. One tile in place, one finished tile right around the shower spigot. This wall, I'm not going to balance. Remember, we talk about tile layout and how I would say 90% of the time balancing would be the way to go, in my opinion. However, if I can get away without having a joint in the shower, and at the far end there's medicine cabinet to cut around, the opposite to this wall with the door in it, and on this wall over on the other side the door swings in. So for the non plumbing wall here, you'll never see that back corner. So to me it makes more sense. It's kind of like I did the floor. It makes more sense to lay it so it's going to look good after all the finish work and cabinetry are in, and that's what I'm going to do. So if you're new to tiling, there are a few things, and like I said, I'm going to share with you probably later on in this video about things you can do to make things easier, because when you look at things on the internet, there are lots of different techniques and all of them may work. But the thing is, what works good for you and what's going to ensure that you get the quality of the job that you would like to get. So with that in mind, I'll bring you back probably when this is done, and we'll talk a little bit more about tiling in general, because when I get these walls done, I'm done tiling. Hallelujah. 1, 0. Well, I thought I had to show you this. Sometimes when I get into shooting video and you have your shot in mind and you're going to do it, and then all of a sudden you realize you haven't done something right, but you're shooting video so you don't go back and correct it. Then the last little segment I shot, I showed you thin set. That was too thin. What you're looking for, in my opinion, is more of this consistency. I don't know what that really is. Some people suggest that you should be the consistency of peanut butter. In my opinion, that would be a little stiff, but whatever works for you is good. My wife says this is the consistency of cake batter, and I know that'll help none of you out there who are tiling, because nobody knows what cake batter looks like. But this is much better. And this time, I actually put a tile on with this upgraded mixture before I shot video, so I am slowly learning. However, what I said before about the amount of thin set is definitely important in my opinion. Remember, I am not a professional tiler. I am working my way through this the best I can. And my goals are simple. It needs to look great and last 40 years. Okay, one other thing I don't know if I've touched on a whole lot is getting your tile pattern. Now this doesn't have much in it, but on this wall, other than this one panel here, I went the wrong way, but I don't think anybody's going to notice except me now and telling you in the video. But I'm kind of going down to the corner like this with this streak. So that's what I have done now. And these 2x2 tiles are heavy. So have everything ready before you put it in place. Now, if I wanted to get this tile off, I don't know if I could. It would take getting a tool underneath it and prying it off. And I'm okay with that. I figure if it's that, sorry, I'm just ducking out of frame here. Thank you, Sheila, for running the camera here. It's really hard to video in this little bathroom. Having the tile adhere the way it does gives me confidence in the methodology and the technique in which I am mixing the thin set and getting that going. And these tile spacers, I don't know how people tiled without these before. They are lifesavers. Okay, where's my little hammer? That's a little over, which is okay because that okay, I'm thinking that that's okay. One other thing maybe before we go in this little video is our goal was, for Sheila and me, our goal was to have really, really tight grout lines. And I forget if I talked about it in the little clip before, but I'm finding that, first of all, I don't think all the tiles are exactly the same size. And when you're looking at a 16th inch grout line, all that becomes really, really critical. You notice increases in width really easily. For some reason, in this back wall here, I had to actually slip 1/8 inch spacers in to get all the lines to line up. And you can see I've got my laser level line here. This is as accurate as I can make it. And yet every once in a while, I have a grout line that just doesn't work out properly. Now this one here is one of those wide ones, and I'm not liking it, but I have no choice because that bottom tile, where it went over the curb in one piece, that tile wasn't perfect. And that translates all the way up. Now, can I live with this? To be honest, I have no choice. It's the way it's going to go in. We're going to grout it good. And I mean, it's still an 1/8 inch line, which would be normal in a lot of applications. But so when you're trying to do this on your own and you notice things subtly changing, it may not all be you. There are variations in all this stuff. So just do your best. Try to keep things level. Try to keep your grout lines the same. And in the end, do what's going to look good to you when you're using it. If it's a 30-second out, not a big deal if it looks good. Okay, and that's tiling according to Glenn, this session. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the content that I provided for you. The video is going to close with the tiling not quite being done. I had to kind of shoot this so that I could publish this video tonight. This is Friday, and I need to have this posted today yet. So I have a fair amount left to do, but I'll have a good afternoon, I know that. And probably what I'll have left is a little bit on the door, or sorry, where the door is to go into the bathroom, that little short wall there. And I have pretty much all the cutting is done, so it should be pretty much clear sailing. So, but I'm not going to show you any more tiling. I think you've seen enough of that. We're going to finish that off camera, And next week we'll come back, we'll be cleaning and probably grouting, and I picked up a new tool for that, so new tools are always exciting, even if it's an oscillating saw. But anyway, so the tiling is the application is coming to an end. Next will be grouting and then sealing it, installing the toilet, shower door, spraying the vanity, and getting things put back together so that we can use it again. So anyway, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Please help me grow this into something even better. And we will see you probably tomorrow or Sunday. So I have another short little video planned for you. Hopefully it's going to be short. And you can watch that as well. So anyway, take care. It's the long weekend here, so Victoria Day, so have an awesome weekend. Hopefully the weather will cooperate and we can have some fun and enjoy nature. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend.